Hey, I'm Scott from Fender Play, a step-by-step online guitar learning platform. In this lesson, we'll work on power chords, the best chords to learn to get you playing rock tunes right away. If you missed any of our other free lessons, click this link to check them out. Remember, this is only one of the hundreds of lessons you get access to when you subscribe to Fender Play, so enjoy this free taste.
In this lesson, we're going to talk about power chords. We're going to go through 5th and 6th string root power chords. We're going to talk about how to play 2 and 3 finger power chords. And finally, how to change frets. So make sure you're in tune, and let's get started. Most chords have at least 3 different notes, but a power chord only has 2. Here's a standard C. And now here's a C power chord, or a C5. We call it a C5 because I'm playing the root and the 5th of the chord. Now you can play a power chord with your ring finger or your pinky. So both ways, with my ring finger and with my pinky. Either is okay. Now the spacing for a power chord is always the same. It's always the next string over and 2 frets up. So there should always be a 1 fret space between your index and your 3rd finger. Power chords have the exact same fingering shape whether you play them with the root on the 5th string or the root on the 6th string, unlike other chords that change shape depending on the chord. That's why they're called movable shapes. You can move it up and down the fretboard. Let's take a look at some power chords. Here's a C5. This is called a 5th string root because my index finger is playing the C on the A string, or the 5th string. That's the root of this chord. Here's a G5 power chord. This is called a 6th string root because my index finger is playing the root of this chord, the G, on the 6th string. Now, regardless of which string the root is on, the fretting hand fingering shape is the same. Here's a C5 with a 5th string root, G5, 6th string root. Once again, C5, 5th string root, G5, 6th string root. Exact same shape in my fretting hand. Now the only difference between 6th string root and 5th string root power chords is that the lowest string of the guitar needs to be muted for the 5th string root power chord. To do this, I'm using the tip of my index finger. So while playing our C5, I'm using the tip of my index finger to touch the 6th string to keep it from ringing. Here's just the 6th string. You can hear it muted. Now if I don't mute it, it sounds like this. It's not what we want. So I make sure you touch the 6th string, keep it from ringing. Now let's take a look at 3-finger power chords. So to play a 3-finger power chord, you're going to place your pinky on the same fret as your ring finger, just the next string up. Let's try that. Here's a G5, and I'm going to place my pinky on the same 5th fret, but on the 4th string. Now we have 3 notes. Now you might be wondering how this could be a power chord because I said earlier that power chords only have 2 notes. So why am I playing 3? Well, when you play the note with your pinky, you're playing the same note that you're playing under your index finger. It's the root up an octave. That's why they sound the same, just higher. We add this note to a power chord to make the chord sound bigger or fuller. A lot of songs feature power chord shifting from fret to fret. If changing frets on the same string, keep your fingers pressed and just slide. So here's a G5, and I'm going to slide up to an A5 on the 5th fret. Once more, G5, sliding to A5. G5, A5. Let's do this with a 3-finger power chord. G5, A5, G5, A5. Now if you're changing strings, you want to dampen all the strings before you lift and move to the next one. So let's try that. G5, going to C5. 6th string, going to a 5th string root power chord. Let's try that with a 3-finger version. G5, going to C5. G5, C5.
Whether you're a beginner who's played for a while or you've never picked up a guitar, we can get you everything you need to start playing in minutes. Click this link to begin your free trial of Fender Play. And remember, anyone can play.